This is the sound of automobile history, the Silvretta Classic. 180 vintage cars are winding their way through the Montafon Valley in western Austria. It's like going back in time. That's amateur racer Christian Schenk. This is the 10th time that the Austrian native has taken part in the competition.
We've got our own little world here, and everybody really gets into it. These people just love classic cars and engines. And in contrast to today's vehicles, these drivers have got a real feel for what they're doing. For example, the play with the steering wheel. You don't get that with today's cars.
Cars like Schenk's are hard to find. This 1929 Bentley 4.5-liter was driven in races during the 1930s. Today it's worth an estimated €500,000. But Schenk insists on putting the car out on the road. It's the morning before the race. The drivers are making their final preparations. Schenk is just back from the Peking to Paris rally. Now he's going to put his Bentley to the test for 3 days on the mountain roads of Austria.
You've just got to keep driving it and keep it in running order. This 3-day event is just great for that. It's a dreamy location. Sometimes you go slower, sometimes you go faster, if you want to.
It all starts here in the mountain village of Patenen. The starting line with its 180 drivers looks more like a car museum. Some of these autos date back to the 1930s. The rally attracts big crowds of enthusiasts from all over.
I've been coming to this rally for 3 years now. I think it's fabulous, just great.
These guys really know how to take care of their cars. It's fascinating. It's hard to describe, but it's nice.
Some of these cars are owned by famous people, like this BMW 507 from the 1950s. Just 254 of these cars were built, so it's a real collector's item. The owner is especially fond of driving classic cars.
It's a delight to drive a wonderful old car. It's like dealing with an elderly gentleman who can't race properly anymore. You have to be careful. You can't just go tearing through the gears. It hasn't got anti-lock brakes or power steering. That means you can sit closer to the steering wheel. So put that together, and this car is just a lot of fun to drive.
And they're off. Christian Schenk and his co-driver will have to cover a total of 660 kilometers. The highway through the pass rises to an elevation of 2,000 meters. The road is narrow, so it's almost impossible to pass the car in front of you. It's more like a time trial. Cameras are set up at specific points along the course to record how long it takes a driver to get from point A to point B. That afternoon, Christian Schenk is the first driver to make it over the finish line for today's leg of the race.
We're just here to have fun. We're not professionals. We do this 3 times a year, and that's it. If you want to win this race, you've got to be really good.
It's been a good day for Christian Schenk, mainly because he got to drive through a beautiful part of Europe in a car that he loves.